Hi everyone, in this video we'll be talking about breakout trading. In my opinion, this is most suitable for the influential trader personality type from my previous video, because these trade setups are usually very explosive and generate a lot of hype. So to put things in context, I use this mainly for crypto trading, so you might need to change certain parameters if you're trading other asset classes. I'm going to break down breakout trading into 4 different parts. First, locating the target, and then building momentum, and then how to calibrate the breakout, and also executing the trade itself. So I'll be covering 3 different examples: a buy trade, a sell trade, and also a losing trade. Right, so let's get started. Okay, so for the buy trade, here we have Bitcoin. We actually need to go back pretty far to look for a nice example for a buy trade. Okay, so over here was 1. Let's go back in time first. Okay, so this is the spot that we're looking for. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, locating the target. First, you want the trend to be your friend. You want the trend to be in your favor when you're taking breakout trades. Okay, so what I use over here is the exponential moving average of the 21 week. Okay, that's quite popular, especially in crypto trading. So we want to make sure that if we're buying, price is above the 21 week exponential moving average. So we have it here, it's way above. And then we are locating either a trend line or a horizontal line that we're looking to break. So this is the trend line here. We had a nice big move on Bitcoin, and then a consolidation continuation pattern that we expect to break and to go higher. Okay, so let's zoom in. So the next thing we'll be looking out for is building momentum. So when we have price moving from far away all the way up to a trend line here, a level that we're looking to break, it seldom breaks in one straight line. We need to consolidate near or at the target to build up some momentum before we can break out. Okay, so let's give it a while. I will usually look for 3 to 5 hours of price being at or near the breakout area before I start calibrating the trade. So we have about 4 hours of price consolidating near here, so it's time to calibrate the breach of this trend line. So the entry, I usually look for an hourly candle that if we break above will take us clearly out of the trend line. Now you can argue that we can take this high over here as well, but I don't want to be caught getting a resistance here, so I'll take this one. Let's move this first. Okay, and 1 tick above. Alright, and the stop loss, we can set it all the way below this low here. Okay, so that's quite a big stop loss, 17.6%. Now for the target, we need to look for a 2-to-1 ratio at least. Alright, so we can simply use this, a Fibonacci extension, the pullback. So we got the 1.618 extension at just over 50,000. So I'll set my profit level at 50,000. Okay, so you got a 1 to 2.46 risk reward, which I think it's okay. And let's zoom back in. Okay, so you set your trade parameters. Okay. And if price breaks above here, we'll be looking to enter this breakout. Let's see. Okay, so we suddenly got a breakout here. Very sudden, very violent. This is what breakouts usually look like. If you look at the volume as well, there is very high volume here on this bar. Okay, so you would have entered the trade here if you set your orders. All right, and let's see it keep going. So if you miss this, a lot of people tend to chase this breakout. They would say that, okay, price has broken out, it's going to keep going, and I'm going to chase it, FOMO in. I try not to do that because, you know, you're usually buying near the top, and breakout trades statistically don't always work out. I would say they work out maybe 30-40% of the time, so it's very risky to enter here, and your stop loss needs to be way down, which was already very wide to begin with. Okay, so I will wait for a pullback. Sometimes there is a bonus retest entry for you that you can use the sniping technique to enter as well. So there is one here. Let's wait for it to happen. Okay, so when you start to see an interim top form, what you can do is draw a Fibonacci level. Okay, and look out for confluence. So we got the golden pocket here that is kind of in line with this hourly support. You can argue that the 38.2% fib is also in line with this previous high, but it doesn't look very attractive to me, so I'll wait for this one over here. So you can draw this support line like how we do for sniping. Wait for price to approach. So you see, if you had FOMO in here, you'll be very anxious now because you're sitting in a loss. Okay, even our initial entry here is in a loss right now. All right, so this is the retest, okay, that we're looking out for. We can zoom into the 5-minute chart to do a snipe entry. I won't do it in this video. Okay, and for this snipe entry, your stop loss can be a lot tighter. So just below this low here, and from here, zoom out a bit. We have this Fibonacci's, and let's watch. Alright, so this breakout worked, and there, we hit our target. Okay, so moving on. Now, this is a short entry, okay, a sell trade, and this is quite recent, a breakdown. Okay, so first thing first, we are locating the target to short. Okay, so over here, let's look at it again. EMA, we are below the 21-week exponential EMA. Okay, and then we got this trend line here. So this trend line is from a large 1 year plus channel. You connect the two highs here, and then you bring it down parallel it connects this low, this low, this low, and many were expecting this low to hold as well, but it didn't. It broke down, so we're gonna short this breakdown here. All right, let's go back in time. Okay, so over here, let's zoom in again. We want to look for momentum to build up, so consolidating near or at the target. There we go, we've touched it. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I would say 3 hours is more or less enough. And it's time to calibrate the breach. So let's look around. I would say this hourly candle is good enough for me. And let's put in the short if we break below this. Okay, and in this case, we can see that we have a good level here, so our stop loss can be above there. All right, and let's look for a target. Target can be the lows here. Okay, somewhere here. So it works out 2.69 risk reward. Let's go back in and watch. Okay, so we've entered the trade here. And similarly, we can also look out for the bonus entry. So for this trade, I would say you can draw a fib from here. All right, and it coincides nicely, golden pocket over here. So if price comes back up here, we can get the snipe entry. I'll draw resistance line here. Okay, so unfortunately for this trade, the momentum was very strong. We only had a retracement to the 38.2, but I wouldn't have taken this retest because there's no confluence. Maybe I would have waited for this max, but it didn't go there as well. So there was no bonus entry on this, and price continued to drop. There we go. This was painful for a lot of people, and it was quite recent. Okay, and we took our profits here. So this is a sell side breakout entry. Now lastly, let's go to a trade that didn't work out. This was TRX. Okay, same thing. Locating the target. We got price that was above. Okay, let's to make it clearer. Over here, price was above the 21-week EMA. Okay, we got this trend line here that if we zoom out, it was from April last year and connect to this high, and then right now we are trying to break it. So let's keep a lookout. So we zoom in, same thing, look for consolidation near or at the target, about 3 to 5 hours. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 hours, thereabouts. Okay, so we can start calibrating the trade. The entry, I would say it's quite clear. It's above that recent high. Stop loss would be, I would take this swing low here, just below it. And then targets, let's see where we can target. I would take maybe this high here. Is it enough? Okay, barely. Yeah, about a 2-to-1 risk reward. Good enough. And okay, let's wait for it to play out. So price came all the way back down. Input one tick above. Came back up again. Okay, now this is also why you don't want to simply take the trade right at the first break. Okay, so technically there was a break, but it was one straight line up. Okay, so I would wait for some consolidation first to protect you from these kind of movements. Same thing happened here again. And there we go. We entered the trade on the break over here. It's supposed to be explosive, so we see again volume was very high during these few bars. Okay, so now we're in the trade and we can look out for a retest as well. So I would draw bid level from here to here. Maybe this low here for bonus entry, right, in line with the 618 retracement. Okay, so you can actually take the snipe entry here, which, you know, depending on price action on the 5-minute, you might have been stopped out already. And we keep going, and the trade stopped out. So like I said, breakout entries only work, I would say, 30-40% of the time. So it's quite risky, and your stop loss is usually quite wide. Yeah, but when it works out, it looks spectacular, and your gains can be quite massive as well. Right, over here, it's about a 35% gain if it happened. Alright, so that was the losing example, and there you have it. This is how I execute my breakout trades. If you like the content, please remember to like and subscribe and leave your comments below.